Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kiera, and today we're making some shrimp Alfredo. So stay tuned because you know it's gluten-free and it's also dairy-free. So here's the ingredients that I recently got. So I bought this fettuccine from Walmart. It is gluten-free. I have a bag of frozen broccoli, an onion. I got shrimp, but if you want to do this with chicken, you are more than welcome to try chicken as well. I'm gonna be using some vegan butter, some minced garlic. This right here is a vegan Parmesan cheese block Parmesan because it's vegan, so it's not real dairy. But I'm trying this for the first time, so we'll see. And this is something I am also trying for the very first time. This is a non-dairy Alfredo sauce. It's by Primal Kitchen. It doesn't look very good from the jar, but you know how we do. We don't just use stuff straight out the jar anyways. You gotta sop it up a little bit. So we gonna try to make this work. We gonna see. So I'm first going to get started by boiling some water for the fettuccine noodles. I like to add salt and a little dab of oil to the water as it is cooking the noodles. And then here are the shrimp that I'm using. They are jumbo size. I do prefer jumbo because they have the most protein, and I know if I eat about 8 or 9 of them, I'm getting a really good serving of protein per meal. So that's why I chose to do the jumbo shrimp. You can use whatever size shrimp you want. You can do chicken if you want to. It doesn't really matter. You could do it without meat at all if that's what you prefer. But this is just what I'm using. And like I always say, when I make meals like this is not an everyday thing. You know, I do this to help people transition to a gluten-free and dairy-free lifestyle. But if you are trying to, lose weight and tone and, make changes within your body, this is not something that you would just make as part of your meal prep all the time. This is like, I'm craving something. I miss a little bit of my old lifestyle. This is a way to have it without causing yourself all that extra, inflammation and all the other issues that gluten and dairy would typically cause. Here I'm making sure that I get all of the noodles within the boiling water and stir them around a little bit. I let these cook for maybe 13 to 14 minutes, and then in a bowl, after I've cleaned my shrimp, I pat them dry with a paper towel, then add some avocado oil, some salt, some garlic powder, and some Slap Your Mama. This has been a staple for me lately. I haven't always used this, but since I have, I've been loving it. And then I'm just going to move those all around, make sure they are all evenly coated before I add them to a skillet. Now, they will sit for a little bit because what I'm going to do next is get me an onion. I'm going to dice that onion. I'm going to put it in the skillet with a little bit of vegan butter and some minced garlic. That is just something I love to do. I don't care what it is that I'm cooking. I'm typically going to put veggies or peppers and some type of oil on the skillet before I add the meat. It just adds to the flavor, give it a little pizzazz. So that's what this is right here. And it's not nothing too crazy, just enough for me to be able to taste it. Because one thing about me, I love onion, I love garlic, I love peppers. So there's that. Okay. So I kind of get that all coated and I let those cook down a little bit before I add my shrimp in. And then once I start to add my shrimp, they will cook for maybe 3 to 4 minutes, sometimes 5, depending on, whether you're looking at them and they look cooked through on one side or not. For me, it's about 3 or 4 minutes. And then after that, I am going to flip them to the other side just to make sure that the other side is evenly cooked as well. I went ahead and took out the noodles, rinsed them, drained them, and in that same pot, I'm adding the sauce to the pot with some garlic powder, a little bit of vegan butter, and I'm also going to use that vegan Parmesan block cheese to kind of grate some cheese into this sauce. I like to make my own additions to the sauce because I don't like the fresh out of the jar taste. In the back, as you can see in the small pan, I did cook the broccoli separately. I just have it in the pan with some onions, some avocado oil, and some salt, and it's kind of just steaming, getting ready for this beautiful creamy pot of sauce. Look at that. So I'm just going to add in the noodles, and I'm going to add in the shrimp, and of course the broccoli. And I'm just going to mix it all together, make sure it's all coated. And then I kind of decided at the last minute that I did want some garlic bread, so I'm using this gluten-free bread by the Char brand. So that is the gluten-free bread that I chose to use. I'm just putting vegan butter on both sides. Then I'm going to sprinkle that garlic on both sides of the bread as well. Now, if you want to just melt this down and add the garlic powder to that melted butter and then just kind of flavor it that way, you can. But I just did this on the fly, like really, really quickly, because at the last minute I decided I wanted this. So after I get the garlic powder on there, I'm going to also add some parsley to each side. And then I'm going to grate some more of that vegan Parmesan cheese on one side of the bread. And then I'm going to put this in the air fryer. I think I cooked these at 370 for maybe 5 minutes or so. Flip them and do the same. They're going to be really crispy and they were actually really good. So you'll see what they look like in a second. But I am not mad at the Parmesan cheese and how it grated and how, actually, y'all, it smelled just like Parmesan cheese. I'm not even gonna lie. What I will say is it also didn't melt down as well as I thought it should have, but I guess real Parmesan cheese does not also melt down very well. So that's that. Here is what the finished product looked like. This is not the best looking dish I've ever made. And I try not to have any expectations for it because, again, it is gluten-free and dairy-free. So, you have to expect that it'll be different, okay? But this is my final plate, and I don't think it looks half bad. Okay, so this is what it ended up looking like. And as you can see, that sauce is a little bit darker than normal Alfredo sauce. Obviously, they're using a bunch of different other ingredients, so it's not going to be as creamy as dairy made Alfredo. But let's try it. I'm kind of excited. It smells good for sure. It really does smell good. I'm gonna try the noodles first with the sauce. It's good, but sometimes very citrusy. And the citrus, I don't know what's citrusy. It's like nearly sour. Yeah, it has lemon juice in it. That could be toned down a little bit. Wow. That was citrusy. They need to tone down the citrus a little. Of course the shrimp is good, but yeah, that is very acidic. Really good taste though. Good taste. I have a piece of broccoli and the noodles now. It's really good, but something needs to cut that lemon down. I think if I make this again, I would add a little bit of agave syrup, a little bit of sweetness to cut that lemon, and maybe a little bit of plant milk. Because the sauce is good, just very acidic. I'm gonna try my garlic bread. You heard that crunch. I put this in the air fryer. That's good. All in all, I give that sauce like for it to be dairy free and gluten free, that's not a bad job at all. Maybe a 7.8. It's not bad, but that lemon is really like cutting. Anyways, I really hope that you like this video. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe.